What's up, sad boys? Grayson Todd here. Are you ever just watching something, you're enjoying it, but then you get to a point in the show where you're just like,
Serena and Sturt's house is generally nice and fun, but it was in a place I didn't know even existed.
God damn, I need to talk about this with someone. I must feel compelled as a voice amongst the internet to share it with at least someone out there. Do you like reality shows? Do you like people competing against one another for a prize? Do you enjoy Australia? You're in luck, because I got something for you in this week's edition of Look What I Found. In 2017, the 7 Network on the 7th of November 2017, that seems like some sort of prophecy. The BBC has like Channel 2, and Australia has the 7 Network?
You caught up on the 7 Network?
Nah, man, all I do is watch that 5 Network.
Australia's very own, now distributed by Netflix, Instant Hotel. What is an instant hotel? It's Airbnb. They're offering up their home because they're traveling somewhere. So you go and you stay the night in their home. Uber for sleeping arrangements, if you will. For the purposes of this show, we're calling them instant hotels. This sure looks like a house. Now it's a hotel. Their quest is to find the single best instant hotel in Australia. Who does it best? 5 groups of people, well, couples really. We're doing Amazing Race rules where there's a couple, there's a duo that enter the competition. You can't enter alone because I guess you have to have someone to bounce off of. 5 groups of 2. In each episode, 4 of them spend the night at one person's instant hotel. That person must display their hotel for the others to judge. Now, they're judging on 4 grading criteria.
The house, location, including local attractions, good night's sleep, and of course, bang for buck.
They start judging this motherfucker on the way to the house. And that's when they get the little boop, boop, boop. Here's the ad. Let's read it. What's going on?
Beachside apartment.
Ooh, chic.
Chic.
8 guests, 3 bedrooms, 4 beds, 2.5 bathrooms.
Right.
Somebody's in the living room again.
Knowing Babe and Bondi, I think we knew what we were coming to. A lot of mutton dressed as lamb.
These couples have never met one another. They're from all over Australia. Australia is roughly the size of the United States, but like a giant island, a giant deserty, tropical, beachy, beautiful, luscious, deserted, isolating island. It has it all. They get the thing. Here's a house. Here's what's nearby. That gives you the DL, the deets. When you start seeing the houses, it makes it very clear that a stipulation was had to provide sleeping accommodations for 8 people. Some of them could sleep like it sits real comfortably. That last pair of people, they usually get like a pull-out sofa.
Actually, this is normally a 6-person house, but we can accommodate to 8 because we have a pull-out couch when needed.
Sure.
And that bed's for 2.
It's all hands on deck to sort out Mark and Janine's pull-out couch.
I think there's only enough sheets for 1 bed.
All the teams arrive to the house. We're greeted by our hosts. In the first season, we had Luke Jacobs with a Z or a Z as you guys say it over there. He is about as interesting as a...
This is Bondi Beach, arguably one of the most famous beaches in the world. Now, each year, 2.5 million tourists pack their swimmers to come here for some sun, sea, and sightseeing.
He doesn't really have any personality. He's just kind of the vessel to keep things in line and to keep things in order. But in the second season, he is replaced by the magnificent, almighty, all-powerful Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
It's a question of swapping the catwalk for the boardwalk to open an instant hotel here in posh Portsea. I do like to be beside the seaside, don't you?
He might be my new favorite TV personality. Just a guy that shows up to judge things. You don't really know his own work. You don't know why he's respected, but you respect the fuck out of the man. They actually gave him judging power where Jacobs didn't have any judgment power. He was just the fucking host. Australia, you have great names. Brisbane, Bondi Beach, Mildura, Point Cook, West Pennant Hills, Port Douglas, North Byron Bay, Barossa Valley, and Humpty Doo. I have no idea where you get your naming from, what process that is. Keep doing it. So our titular contestants enter the house. Everyone gets a feel for the vibe. On the first episode, everyone is playing so nice. These are strangers. They're competing against one another, but they're also guests in each other's homes. By the third episode, though, full gloves are fucking off.
This is just so camp, it's not funny.
It was just sort of like every idea I have, I'm going to find a spot to put it. It's a bit of everything. It's a bit of Miami Vice. It's a bit camp. It's a bit drag queen. It's a bit old Hollywood.
People will tear each other down because the competition starts kicking in and they start to stack one another up against each other. So now it's time to pick your sleeping arrangements. That's not always easy. You're with people you never met before, you don't know, you're in direct competition with them. You want to get the best night's sleep yourself. If you're gonna be paying up to $1,500 for some of these places, you want the best room in the fucking house. To be honest, sometimes I'm just happy to be sleeping under a roof. I don't give a shit. Lifestyles of the rich and the famous. We've always done that. Cribs, envisioning what the other half lives like. So we choose sleeping arrangements, which has come down to arm wrestling, staring contests, any means necessary.
I thought she was going to pull her leg off like a chicken wing. It was just like, stop.
Hold on, Shay, you got it, you can do it.
She pictured herself in that bed that night, and in her mind, there was not a shadow of a doubt.
There's not a lot of fault with the show. One particular thing that keeps rubbing me the wrong way, when they talk about the rooms and talk about the living arrangements, how it is tight. And they detract points because some of them have to sleep on, say, a futon or a pull-out couch. Oh, we're so close to other people and we're in an open area with people we don't really know.
There were 3 couples that had to share one shower.
I don't know about you, if you're going on vacation to the other side of the country and you're gonna spend the money for a house that sleeps 8 people, you would probably know those 8 people. If you have all agreed to stay in the same house, and if you've all agreed to share your vacation and share your stay, I don't think you're gonna mind all that much. You know what you're getting into. I don't care when I go to Disneyland with my parents if we all sleep in the same hotel room because we're here for fucking Disneyland. It's not really about the hotel. And yes, you want your living space to be comfortable. You know what you're getting into. And presumably you know one another. This whole thing where they keep trying to detract points because it's uncomfortable being in the space with strangers, I don't know if it's as valid as the show tries to make it seem. Once the contestants have decided on their rooms, they go their separate ways. They go to the rooms where you typically find a goodie bag.
It's time to check out their welcome packs, usually supplied by instant hotel hosts to make their guests feel at home.
It's a courtesy gift to try and bribe the contestants. Now, this could range from any sort of items. Local wine, face masks, sunglasses, whatever you feel represents and prepares your guests for their stay on your property and in your location. Some guests have also used the opportunity to push their personal products.
So funny, there's my style.
Do we get one each?
Yeah.
Serena and Stuart are entrepreneurs.
Their gift pack, although unique, was just one big advertising tool, trying to shove their products down our throats.
It's nice to comp people with what benefits you get, but if you're just unloading stock, That's not really cool. I'm a kind of guy that likes a little kitsch, so if you have something kind of dorky, a little personal, I'm not gonna be mad about it. Now, if you're telling me to have sets,
I wouldn't think we are 50 Shades people. What are they encouraging here? I would not come here to relax.
It's really grubby.
Grubby.
if you're telling me this room was specifically made for you to and here are things to help you get in the mood to fuck, then I'm gonna feel a little uncomfortable. Yes, there is a high probability that I will be having sex in your bed. If you can't have sex on vacation, then when do you have sex? You have a great kitchen, you have a beautiful yard, a balcony. I like to keep my options open. Maybe we all gather in the lounge and have a big old game. Next, it's time for the adventure, and this is where the local attractions come in play. The local attractions that are picked out are either picked out by the producers or by the guests themselves. They try to frame it like it is the owners who give these options, and then the guests typically have one or two options, from kayaking to playing with seals to some very questionable choices.
We didn't really put two and two together until we actually got to the sign that said water treatment plant.
Oh my God! The water treatment plant!
This is a turd factory.
Pretty sure that one's payback. They knew what they were doing to their guests, and they enjoyed it. If you're coming to Bondi Beach, this is the quintessential Bondi experience. If it is something you enjoy, then it's like, hey, that's great for the homeowners.
Would imagine. Come on, Simon. I want a selfie of this raw sewage plant.
You love this shit, don't you?
So while the contestants are out on their activity and they're enjoying everything that the city has to offer,
Are we going to see raw sewage or sewage pipes?
Raw sewage before it's been cleaned up.
our host comes back into the house with our expert, Juliet Ashworth. She is the singular most intimidating person ever. I don't know how respected she is in her field, but she just carries herself with so much posture.
Given their personalities, I'm expecting something quite colourful and screaming for attention. But we'll see.
She genuinely tries to take in each home, not through her lens, not through her standards, but what the house is trying to bring. What is the themes? What's the tone?
I don't think you can really take the decor seriously. I think it's supposed to be a little bit of a holiday fantasy.
Juliet does a really good job on meeting the owners on their terms. Of course, she has her hospitality standards.
Ooh, tatty furniture full of personal clothes. If you're going to leave your stuff around, then you have to lock it up. Look at that. Oh, don't even want to touch it.
Make it feel like a vacation getaway and not someone else's house. She comments, she has a little banter, a little more with Lawrence and Luke. This is when our guests return back home. And now the guests must cook dinner, deliberate about the house. Some homeowners have very, interesting rules. Miss Babe and Bondi, named after the famous Bondi Beach, when they implemented the rule.
The #1 rule when you stay at our property is that you have to enjoy margaritas.
If you don't like drinking margaritas, then you should probably sojourn somewhere else.
Not, hey, if you enjoy margaritas, we do too, and we provided the mitts for it. You must enjoy margaritas. This is essential, and if you don't, this isn't the place for you, and you should get the fuck out. This causes somewhat of a conflict. We have absolute fucking heroes, Mark and Janine, with their amazing 1950s ode to Americana. They have so much passion, and they're such a genuine couple.
We've been married 37 years. My goodness.
37 years of bliss.
Absolute wedded bliss.
I've finally learned who the boss is.
He doesn't want a fruity, fancy drink. All Mark wants is a beer. I respect that. No one should be forced to have something that they don't want. God damn it, does Babe and Bondi want him to drink a margarita?
It is a bit of a quirky rule, but this whole place was designed as an ode to the margarita.
I had no intentions of drinking a margarita.
He tries a sip. He's a good sport. This is why I respect Mark.
Quite like it, actually.
Do you? You can have mine.
He's a reasonable person. Dave and Bondi, not reasonable people. My question is, like, what if they are straight edge? What if they are ex-alcoholics? What if their parents were alcoholics? What if, for some reason whatsoever, they just don't like alcohol in general? I think the most that anyone can do as a homeowner is to just provide a space that is comfortable with the resources you need to live out your vacation. If they're not coffee drinkers, they don't have to drink coffee, but you should have a coffee maker on the off chance that they are coffee drinkers. They just can't understand any other way of living.
When the topless waiter entered the room, it just got kind of awkward.
I think the response was a bit underwhelming, really.
Yeah. It's a shirtless hot guy with abs. Come on.
They want to believe that they've sunk all this money into a property. Their way is the ultimate getaway. If you are going to run an Airbnb, if you are going to run an instant hotel, don't hang around.
Hello, darlings. It's margarita time. Hi, guys.
A lot of these people like to buy two properties next to each other. We'll live here and then we'll fix this one up and rent it out to people. That's fucking weird. Keep it down after 10 p.m. Be cautious of the neighbors.
Bitch, you're the fucking neighbor.
Dropping by unannounced.
Hey, what's going on? I hear you're a bit short of vodka. What's a vodka?
Oh my God.
Hey, I heard you guys are missing the vodka.
Woo! I say that's a no-no. Call me up. Say, hey man, is it cool if I swing by? Let me get ready. Let me be presentable. Let me make sure you're not walking into something. We're here with a group. We don't know who you are. You trust the guests to not trash your house and to be respectful of it. And they trust you to not murder them, I guess. A lot of these owners are so insistent on making sure that the guests are having a good time that they insert themselves into the party. Now I feel like I'm walking on eggshells because it stopped being our vacation, became your vacation. Now eventually they leave and it's up to the guests to sleep. Ultimately, when you boil it down to, you just need a place to sleep. So the most important aspect should be how you sleep. Apart from having separate hosts, the first two seasons diverge in a couple ways. Luke Jacobs did not give a score. Your humble Ryan Seacrest type. But the owners of the home gave a score back to the guests on how well they took care of the home and could possibly change the outcome. This seems a little too complicated, convoluted. If you're paying a cleaning fee, if I make the bed or not shouldn't really fucking matter because you're gonna wash those sheets regardless. And this also gave opportunities for the owners to enact revenge. Remember that margarita that I told you Mark didn't really want to drink and didn't really enjoy?
Someone did break a rule. We didn't see Mark have a margarita. Only on the margarita point, and then we went from an 8 to a 7.
7 out of 10. What do you think about that?
Pretty low.
Vindictive ass babe took a point off because the rule states everyone must enjoy a margarita. Fuck you. You think I want to stay at your shitty place after that? Well, now I feel bad. Now I feel obligated, and that isn't cool to put on anyone. For season 2, they cut that part out of it. The guests do not get scored based on how well they fucking clean the showers. Morning after, everyone converges, usually on the lawn. Sometimes it's in the living room. What's more awkward, standing on someone's lawn while you're judging them and there's just flies and shit going in your mouth, or judging their house while you're sitting inside of the house. both feel uncomfortable to a certain extent. Juliet comes out, everyone stands in a line, and we're facing each other. It's a face-off. We feel like we're at the end of Survivor, and it's time to vote off a cast member. Everyone has already given their scores. They've talked to the camera. If it's really bad, they won't show us till later. They want to keep the total score secret. They don't want you to do the old matho in your head. Our Ryan Seacrest type, he reads off some comments. Commenting just on the location. Maybe you were missing an accommodation like a mirror in the bedroom, or there wasn't enough bathrooms. Some of them are fucking mean.
Erotic, neurotic. The house looks like lipstick on a gorilla. We could be in any suburb, in any cookie-cutter developer estate in Australia. Not sure who would holiday here.
They don't say the scores out loud. The homeowners only get the comments and then the total score from everyone. Some people get a little defensive.
What is it that you don't like about Sanctuary Lakes, about our little area here? What was it that you don't like about the lake and the golf club and things like that? Does it look ugly, or is it, like, what's the problem with it?
And this is the genius, the fucking genius of Instant Hotel. The drama starts off slow, and then it picks up and it blossoms, and it's passive aggressive. The greatest form of drama, passive aggressiveness. American reality shows can take note. You don't want every contestant to be a drama head. That just gets tiresome to watch through. Everyone just screaming at one another. That's why Love Island becomes exhausting after a couple seasons. Rest in peace, Carolyn. Just people who are true to themselves and happy with themselves coming into conflict with fucking drama bombs.
Can you just be a little bit more specific? Was there something that was upsetting you about the area?
She was really making it very personal against me. Like, I had somehow been completely responsible for their score.
Seeing them reflect off of just this crazy social media mentality of just tearing things down and backstabbing one another and playing strategies to try and win. It's what keeps you watching. Part of you is curious who wins, but then it becomes who you don't want to win. When there's people that you're really rooting against, nothing is more captivating. A good villain, if you will. It also helps to have a hero. Like the two greatest fucking heroes in television, nay, human history, Beck and Tristan, professional wakeboarder and melon picker.
I'm a rock melon farmer. I love having a joke.
These two are the most genuinely true and beautiful people I've ever seen captured on film.
Very farmlandish.
Farmlandish. Wow, that's good English. I don't know, we have lots of big 3D TVs. Woohoo! So I'll sit around and watch 3D TV. Whoa, it's all tuned up. I'm under the limit.
Where are you there?
I'm under the limit. Crap, this sucks. Oh, actually, I don't know if I'm getting in here. That's mangy. Yes!
You got the top.
Hell yeah! I read some bedtime stories. Oh no! Spilled the beer in the bed.
You look like a fly. It's got these big
I feel like this could be a push-up bra more than anything. What? That's gonna hit the house. Oh my God, it hit the house.
The only reason I would stay in Point Cook was for the golf course. If I was a pro golfer, maybe.
Yeah. High five, eh? Good one. Yeah, you did it.
I will lay down my life for Beck and Tristan. If I am ever in Mildura, I'm gonna stay on your houseboat, guys. Unless it's sunk by now. I'm sorry for your loss. I fucking love you. So the owners are taking the criticism. The total scores out of 100. Whose line is anyways, the points don't matter. What matters is their reaction to it. Usually in the low 20s, which means an average score of 7s and 6s. This really takes some of the owners off because they feel like they have a perfect house. They have the perfect instant hotel. And then they turn to Juliet and they say,
I was really excited to hear Juliet's review, and we thought that we'd get a reasonable score.
I'm here for what Juliet has to say. She is the expert. Juliet is so good of killing them softly.
Your instant hotel has bells and whistles and some drums and some guitars as well. You're so
That being said, I don't like it. You're f***ed.
And you say it's one of Melbourne's most sought-after suburbs. Well, in the official rankings that I know were done 2 years ago, it comes in at 309 out of 321 suburbs.
You can feel her eyes piercing through your skull.
My score for your instant hotel is a 5.
Brutal, Juliet, brutal.
She's a fucking icon. Forget Beyonce. Where's Juliet's army? Then we get the person with the top score. And then we wait 5 more episodes with 5 new pairs of people. Then we get the top score from them. 2 pairs join each of them, and then they stay at each other's house. Is it better? Is it worse? Here's a new activity. It's time for them to plead their case. And this is when you see all the stops get pulled out. Private chefs, Aborigine dance performance. I don't think it's fair to judge based on that type of ancillary shit. You're not gonna hire a personal chef for every single person that stays at the house. It's clearly just for the competition. So why is that able to be used in the ranking of the house? Who cares? The fucking prize is an all-expense stay in California. And then that's it. That's the show. There's 2 seasons of it. Scared that the American version would solely only pick drama influencers or young, buzzy, rich people and not focus on having an older, more mature couple kind of offsetting that. So I can see the American version getting really obnoxious.
Do you feel betrayed by your so-called friends?
It's no new friends, strictly.
Hashtag no new friends, you know?
Yeah.
We ain't got each other.
And I do really enjoy learning Australia. I would love to visit Australia at some point. I think it is a beautiful country with very warm and beautiful people.
Have a laugh. Everyone's too serious these days. You know what you're doing there, Vic?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, pretty easy.
I loved Instant Hotel. If you know any shows that capture this feel, keep trying to find more shows like this. It's either too focused on the craft or there's too much drama. And there's not that presentation, that blending of them. I want my trash to be presented as elegant, high-class entertainment. I mean, I guess that's me in a nutshell. If any of this appealed to you, give Instant Hotel a watch on Netflix. If you have already seen it, tell me your favorite Beck and Tristan moment. I'm Grayson Todd. Thank you so much for watching me rant about a random show. And if you know a more awesome whatever, please let me know. You know, I'm always looking out for that shit. Stay super posy, watch good shit or trashy shit based on your preference. I'll see you guys next time. Toodles. Bye.